empowering video is about. I really want to give an amazing shout out to one of my members in a family support group. Her channel name is Talking with Kenjay. Check her out.
Didn't think that I could bump like this. Said I told y'all I was going.
Hey guys, welcome back with Talking with Kenjay, and I'm doing another motivational video, and this one is about learning how to humble yourself, okay? Because some of y'all don't know what that means. So I'm going to give y'all a breakdown. Okay, now this is from my experience of knowing how to humble yourself, in the meaning of not always thinking that you're better than someone, or not always thinking that nothing will happen to you. One form of I realize that I see with humbling yourself is amongst friendships or whatever. I really think some of y'all not really friends with each other. I think some of y'all are frenemies. And what I mean by that is, you ever had that girlfriend who you go to her about a problem and she wants to one-up you on another problem, or you go to her about success, or I just bought a car, or girl, I just bought a truck, or I just got a promotion, or girl, I've been a supervisor. Like, they have to one-up. It's like having that humble feeling of just allowing your sister, your friend, or whoever to enjoy their accomplishment, enjoy what move they just made in their life, and also not throwing everything that you've done, all your accomplishment, into somebody's face who you know going through something. Always throwing in somebody's face everything that you got going on, or whatever. Like, you out here making better moves than them, and you out here doing better than them, and you living better than them, and you letting that be known. To me, that's the person who don't have a humbling spirit. When you humble yourself, that means you have no problem stating that you're wrong. You have no problem stating that, okay, you know what, I need to correct myself in this area, or I made this mistake, or I have no problem letting my sister shine. It's her moment. Today's her wedding day, so it's about her. Or this is her baby shower, so it's a...
Make sure you guys subscribe to her channel, spam, like her videos, let her know Everyday Life with Kia sent you. Her link to her channel will be down below in the description box below. A few months ago, she had a bypass gastric surgery, and follow her on that amazing journey. I'm so proud of you, baby girl. She does amazing topics, amazing talks, you know, dating broke people, humbling yourself, what to do in your toxic relationship, you know, how to heal. She says amazing topics that all you guys definitely, if you need the advice, the help, definitely go to one of her videos. She's really entertaining, she's funny, and she keeps it 1000% real as ever. Thank you, love, for supporting me, just being an amazing person inside and out. Now, loves, we have a very, very, really amazing video today. My beautiful friend Ayarri, next love on my channel, she sat down with me, talk about what she's been going through from basically when she was born until now, internalized racism, how she hated herself for not knowing so much about the black community, and how she was sheltered in her life, and how she grew up, and how she portrayed and seeing the black people, you know, on TV and social media. Not all of us, you know, really know what internalized racism is, and not even know that you yourself might, you know, be that, but it's okay. Doing this video, you learn a lot about yourself, and we give you pointers to just remember and to know to go off wherever you go in life. So you guys, enjoy. Hey loves, today I have with me
Ayarri.
We have a really very empowering video, honestly, that we need to talk more about, whether it's black community or just anything really, just really what we need to talk about within ourselves. So basically, with you growing up and how your life is past years, you've been internalized racism within yourself, like self-hate and misunderstanding the black community. Like, how did that all start?
So it really started just how I grew up. I grew up in Batavia, and for your followers that know Batavia, it's very white. Mm-hmm. I grew up in a very uppity, rich white folk environment where I didn't have people that looked like me. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I grew up knowing that I was black, but I didn't know what that meant to me. You know, I tried to fit in with this group and this group, but it was like, I don't have anybody that looks like me. I didn't talk about my culture. I didn't talk about the issues. But I also, my grandparents shielded me from seeing the negative parts of the world. So I didn't realize what my people went through on a daily basis, because I didn't necessarily go through it. But it really changed when I went to college. I took a test my freshman year, I'm a psychology major, and there's this test called the implicit bias test. And so it kind of shows your unconscious biases in the world. So I took the race one, and it said that I preferred white people over black people. And I was like, what?
That's what I like when you see that. It was like a wake-up call for you.
Yeah,
like,
it was. I looked at it and I was like, what the hell? And I looked at it and I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, I was sick to where I actually went back to my dorm room and cried. Because I was like, why do I prefer white people over my own people? I don't hate my own people. I know I don't. But what is going on? And I realized that it was that internalized racism. I had seen my people in a particular light that wasn't good, right? Social media, you're thugs, you're always criminals, you're shooting people in Chicago on the South Side and stuff like that. And not being around people that look like me, that were, educated, and not saying that like my family wasn't educated. All of my family, they're doctors and lawyers and stuff, but I wasn't around them. They live in the South. So, just not being around, like I said, having that representation other than family reunions and being at church. Those are the groups that I was in that was just all black.
What did it take for you when you realized it was like, wow, like I prefer, from the test, you prefer the white folks other than the black people. But what did it take for you to actually change that and actually wanted to learn more about your kind, our kind?
It really, after I cried in my dorm room and was like, why? I was sick to my stomach, honestly. And I was like, I have to put myself in black spaces. So I made it a point that throughout my first year of college that I would be around the very small black community that we have, but more than I had been used to growing up. Because I go to a Jesuit Catholic college where I think the percentage is maybe 8% black. But that was more, like I said, than I had ever been exposed to on school grounds. So I went to different black events and stuff like that and really immersed myself in my own culture. And that's when I found out what my blackness meant to me. And it's just powerful and resilient and it made me love myself and understand myself more and understand the richness of my culture and my people. And so a year later, I took that test again, and it was completely flip-flopped. So
it better be flip-flopped.
Yeah. So it said I preferred, black people over white people. And it's not that, I hate white people or anything like that. But I needed to take that test to really push myself to get myself out of my comfort zone. And then actually my junior year, I had another big wake-up call. I was involved in an organization where we do, we go to different states. I went to St. Louis, Missouri, and it's the intersection of faith and justice. So we went, and we didn't do like community service or anything like that. We went there to actually understand what that particular community needed and the issues that they had. And we didn't, you go on mission trips and you build houses and stuff like that. That's not what that was. And I like that because I don't feel as though I should go and invade somebody's community, not before knowing what that community wants. And the big wake up call that I had with a lot of the stuff we do is for the homeless. So we were giving out hot chocolate and clothes and everything to the homeless community out there. And one guy came up to the truck and he said, I need a shirt for work. And I was like, a shirt for work? I was like, you're homeless but have a job. And that baffled my mind. Again, that was an eye-opener because I didn't realize that you can have a job and still be homeless. People are literally living paycheck to paycheck. And because I had never been exposed to that, I'd never seen poverty to that extent. You have panhandlers and stuff like that, but actually seeing people as people, I'd never done that before, because I was so shielded.
So you were like shielded your life, and your parents, not your parents, your grandparents, people you grew up around. It's like, in a way, that was negative. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Because when you say like your parents raise you and they're strict, that's, if they, raise you in a strict environment, that's negative as well. But them sheltering you to protect you, little do they know, was actually kind of hurting you. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And you realize all of this, about your own race, realize all of this. It took you till you went to college. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And you're still learning to this day and growing. But it's like, do you think if they didn't shelter you, what would be different?
I would have grown up faster. I would have seen things in a different light. I probably would be a little further than I am now, but I think I've come a long way. Because I put in the effort. Because I was like, I can't. It's like, I've learned to not be so judgmental with people and just criticize. I have to step back and be like, why do I think this way? And I realized the best lesson, the best degree is not a psychology degree, is not a law degree. The best degree that you can have is the degree of life. And that is understanding people, having relationships with people, talking to people that you necessarily wouldn't have talked to in the first place, because many of us don't talk to the homeless community. It's like, oh, here's a couple dollars and going about your merry way, because you don't have to live in that space, right? You can go in there and come right back out, right? And that's most people. You don't sit down and be like, oh, this is an actual fucking human being.
Exactly.
This person has or had a family, or they don't have a family. Like, what does that look like? Some people grow up on love, and some people grow up on survival, right? I grew up on love. I didn't have to. I've been spoon-fed my whole entire life, and I'm to a point now where I'm like, I want to share my spoon with people that don't, and not as like a charity case, because some people just do it for publicity, for just saying, oh, I did this, and gloat about it. I don't gloat about it. I genuinely want to be able to constantly have relationships. If I could get paid talking to people about their life, like Oprah, I would totally do that, because that's what we miss. We miss that connection. We miss that relationships, because we're behind texting, we're behind the computer, and we don't really get to see people for who they are. And it's a beautiful thing. So, the best thing that I've ever done so far in my life has gone to college, because it has made me have to grow up.
Yeah, and you realize so much. And the thing is, what I really love is how you realize when you took that test and you went to your room and you cried. You
bawled.
the video, music video, what Michael Jackson said, if you want to make a change, look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Mirror, yeah. You wanted to make a change. You wanted to know more about your race. You wanted to know more, and you went out there and you did it. Exactly. You put the effort and you put the hard work in. That is really amazing. I love what you said. Like, instead of the degree, having a degree, it's a degree of life, living. Understanding people, and that is what my videos is about. Because if we just spend time less judging one another, judging one another, this world could be a 10 times better place. Understand that person. There's a reason why people are the way they are. There's a reason why people are homeless. There's a reason why people are angry, mad, reason why people are bitter. You know what I'm saying? If you take a step back and just understand, why is that person like that? What can I do to make sure that person has a good day? Smile for them. I love your necklace. I love your smile. I love your hair. You never know what anyone is going through. So I love that what you do. That's really, really important, because I feel like if you didn't take that test, and you probably wouldn't realize what you wanted to be in your life and what did you want it to do. So it's like, say, like in a reason, how that saying, everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
I feel like if you weren't sheltered the way that you were sheltered growing up, if you wasn't sheltered at all, you probably won't be the person that you are right now. Right. You know what I'm trying to say? Right. So everything happens for a reason. Yeah. Maybe not at the time that you wanted, but another thing I wanted to ask is, like, why do you think it's so important that we need to, like, talk about this?
It's important because we don't talk about it. you know, it's just people, it goes back to, like I said, the degree of life, understanding where people come from. You know, like I said, people come from love, people come from survival. And just talking about just how people grow up and how they see the world. I didn't see the world the way I do now, because I had blinders. You know, I probably had so many racist comments to me. You know, one of the things, I played basketball. That's kind of like, I don't want to say saved me from being an outcast, but because I did play basketball, and I was good at it, people didn't see me as just other black girl in a predominantly white high school, right? I was Ayarri, who played basketball, and she's good, right? You know, so, but people don't see that, and internalized racism is a real thing. You know, we talk about colorism, which is still, you know, an issue in our community, but the thing with the black community, and just last year I was at a social justice conference in November in Washington, and one of the themes was, how do we take this journey of social justice together as all different cultural communities? And when I spoke, I said, before we can come together as a collective whole, we have to separate ourselves and work on our own issues in our own communities. And one of the issues, it is internalized racism, because we do see just black people as portrayed as criminals and thugs and uneducated, which is complete BS. You know, black women are the most educated people in the world, literally. And so when we talk about things, we have to not look at what other people are doing. At first, we have to take a step back and check ourselves, right? And so I was checking myself at that point. And like I said, it's just, everybody has to take a step back and look at themselves, at what they went through, and why I feel this type of way. Why do I think this way? And why don't I talk to that person? Is it really them, or is it something that someone else told me, or just myself? So I think this is important, just to look at yourself and like you said, man in the mirror, who do I want to be?
Exactly.
Who do I want to be? And really write it down. Write it
like,
down.
if you realize and self-reflect in your life and you're not happy with, you know, the way it is, it's like you have to make that change. You have to physically get up and put the effort in, just exactly what you did. But I think it's, you know, really important to talk about this, because like you said, we really don't talk about this. And I feel like a lot of people don't really know what internalized racism is. And then once you find out, you really like thinking to yourself, like, wow. Because when you told me you want to do this video, what came to me was when I was growing up, and I went to Chicago school, and I was like, I think I was like sixth grade, you know, the black kids would make fun of me. They would say, "You talk white. Why do you talk like that?" You know, and you know you can't talk a color. You know, I talk proper. That's what it is. I sound proper. You know what I'm saying? But when I went to high school, I would hang out with more of the white people, because I felt like the black people didn't accept me, because they would make fun of me by how I sounded. And then when I would hang out with the white people, they're like, "Why are you hanging out with them? Hang out with us." You know, but they really doesn't. You know, I just feel like we all should just be one, and we shouldn't just hang out with, you know, just one race. You know, but I felt like I didn't hate my own kind, but I did question, like, you know, why they so hurtful, you know, are all of them like this, you know what I'm saying? Because I would get made fun of for hanging out with white people and how I sounded, you know. But I think it's really important, because you don't even know that we judge and stereotype our own kind without even thinking about it, even ourselves as well. And like you said, if you're doing that, it takes, you know, for you to step back, like, okay, why am I doing this? You know, what, you know? And I feel like with the media, society, anything, people retweets and everything, how they portray the black people out there, it's not good. So for you being sheltered, all you knew was what you've seen, which was all negative for black people, you know? So, you know, so I think that's really important that we're talking about this. I think we need to talk about it more, you know, and if you feel, I feel like if for you, if someone's watching this video and they feel like they're, internalized racism within themselves, what do you think that they should do, or like?
I think the first thing is to, like I said, write down who do you want to be, where do you want to go in life, and every day making like one effort to be like with me, I purposely went to events with Black Student Association, African Students Association, so that I was around people, but the first thing, like I said, is to seriously write down who do you want to be in life, where you want to go, and write steps of how you're going to get there. And every day, it's self-love at the end of the day. There's a song by Mary Mary, a gospel song. It's called Little Girl. And I'll have you listen to it after this, but it talks about growing up and not seeing people that look like you, as a Black female, and just kind of looking in the mirror and telling yourself that you're beautiful. And it's not just the outside, it's what's inside, because if your heart, soul, and mind is not in the right space, it doesn't matter what you look like, because you can look like Beyonce all day and be an asshole.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So it's taking the time to really look in the mirror and be like, I am insert name, who I want to be. This person, I want to be an activist. I want to be the best mom that I can be. I can be the best dad. I want to be the best, professional, whatever. I want to be the best lawyer, and strive to be that. But also be a positive force and light in everybody's life that you come in contact with.
Again, yes.
There are plenty of evil people in the world. There's two people that I say that are in the world: vampires and gods. Vampires, because I don't like calling people the devil or evil.
Yeah.
There's plenty of evil people in the world, but just personally, I don't like calling people the devil. They're vampires. Those are the people that suck the life out of you. They're the ones that are like, Kia, I don't really like your YouTube channel. It's not. Right. I think you should do this. I think you should do that. Right. Those are the people that you just need to put your hand out and be like, stop. I don't need you in your life. And then there's gods. Those are the people that encourage you, that love you, that care about you, that picks up the phone at 2:00 in the morning and was like, hey, I was thinking about you. How do you need anything? Not, whatever. Just checking up on you. People don't do that. You just pick up the phone, because you never know what somebody could be wanting to end their life, and you make one phone call.
That's what I always tell people. Like, we really have to be here for one another. Like, it's really what the main point is, what my YouTube channel is all about. And like, there was this not this quote, but this guy said, I think he was walking the Golden Gate Bridge, and he was like, if someone, says hi to me, smiles to me, or acknowledge that I'm here, I would not kill myself. And no one did. And he jumped off the bridge. He killed himself. And just that touches me every time I say that, because that's really effed up. That's really messed up, because we have no idea what no one is going through. Literally, the thing is, we wear masks, and the thing is, we need to stop wearing masks. We need to stop having our feelings on our shoulders. We need to stop holding it in. We need to stop doing that. We need to love one another and be there for one another, because let me tell you something. What you're doing, what I'm doing, and if you too, what you're doing to just make sure that everyone has a nice day, remind them they are not alone. Like, we love you. This world is cruel, what I'm trying to say, and life is hard, but life is beautiful. It takes us working together. It takes us loving one another. It takes us to obviously it starts with ourselves first. Realize who you are, what you want to do in life. You have your confidence, you have your self-worth, 1,000% and more. Every single day I'm growing. It takes all that. And then, what can you do for others? What can you do for others? And that's all, really. Just be here for one another. And so where do you see your life in like the next 5 years?
Hopefully be almost done with my PhD.
Yeah, so yes, with your PhD, tell them what are you doing with school, and also what do you do on the side, if you do anything else.
Yeah, so I just got my bachelor's in psychology, so Black Psychologists Matter. My Pride Apparel, Black-owned clothing company, so definitely check them out. And right now I'm getting my master's in public affairs, so I'll be graduating in May. And then hopefully 2021 I'll be starting a PhD program in education. I want to do educational research, and I want to come back to Illinois to open up my own school or community center. Because it's something that we need. I think after school programming is very much needed. But also I want my school to be open to everyone, but more geared to Black kids, so that they have representation. We talking about different things in our community, about not just Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, but talk.
Girl, I swear, like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not even joking. That's literally like the main people I know, because when I was growing up in schools, the only time we talked about Black people, honestly, was only in the Black History Month, only in February.
The shortest month of the
that
year.
That is the only time. And the main people we talked about, Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, you know, Harriet
We didn't
Tubman.
even talk about Malcolm X.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know. I didn't know. Like, barely him, but like, that's all that we talk about. So for us to know more information, and there's other stuff that we don't talk about rather than Black people, but I'm saying, like, most of the stuff that we need to find out and the truth about the world and everything, you find out after high school when you go to college. And it's like, wow, I wish I learned this in high school. I wish I knew this. You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly why I want to build my own school for Black kids, because I don't want them to have to go through what I went through. I don't want them to have to wait to see their real life. You know, yes, they're kids and, you know, be kids, but we need different narratives of Black folks, because we don't have that representation. Like I said, we know Rosa Parks, we know Martin Luther King, and it's like we had slavery, we had the civil rights movement, and then poof, racism is gone. It's like, no, it just has evolved. It looks different. People aren't, well, I can't say people aren't getting lynched anymore, because people still are, but we are in a genocide. You know, we talk about police brutality has been going on for decades, but because of the technology, because of our phones, people are filming it. We see it more, but we also don't want to get desensitized to it, where it's like, oh, it's just a common thing. Like, no, that shit shouldn't happen, period. And it's, you know, it's up to, you know, I think legislation has its work cut out, but it starts also with the grassroots people. But like he said, it starts with you. If you can't find a beautiful person, be a beautiful person.
Girl, I'll have to write that quote down. I swear, every time I do these talks and interviews with people, they tell me stuff, I'm like, okay, I need to write that down. I need to remember that. Right. Remember that, so I can write that down.
Right. If you can't find a beautiful person, be a beautiful person. And it's just, it's so simple.
But that's really powerful right there. Yeah. I really love that. Like, this, you know that quote that's like, that like light, I'm not even gonna say because I don't remember it, but basically it's like, be a light in someone's life. You know what I'm trying to say? And honestly, it's like, you know, what I do in my channel, like what I do for anyone, period, is just like, when you help others and give to others, honestly, you are helping yourself. Honestly, that helps you. Like, it really does. Like, being selfless. It helps me grow, and it helps me understand myself more, and I'm really happy when I do it. So if you're ever feeling down, I'm telling you, be a light in someone else's world, in their life, and that will help you, honestly. Like, it really would, honestly.
Yeah.
But like last November, you did a social justice conference that you're talking about. What else do you do on the side if you work?
Yeah, so another way that I try to keep going with my activist work is I actually started working for a finance company called Wealthwave. And the number one thing that we do is help educate our clients and just the masses, period, on how money works, how to leverage your money. You know, you don't have to be a millionaire to start anything, or you know, you can have $100 and become a millionaire in you know, whatever. But it's understanding how money works. 2 out of 3 Americans are financially illiterate. It is the number one crisis in America, is financial literacy, because people don't know about their money. You know, people are living paycheck to paycheck when, you know, times are rough, of course, but if people invested their money in a different way, not saying like you have to do stocks, but investing in yourself. So people know how to work for money. You get a job, right? But how many people do you know how to make their money work for them, where they can sit in their pajamas and they're making $1 million? Just the average Joe. So what my company does is take what the people on Wall Street know and bring it to Main Street, to the masses. And we actually have our company book called How Money Matters.
Let's see that. That's better. How many matters?
Oh, How Money Works.
How
Many
works? Like,
How Many Works. I don't know.
I can see it right here. I'm over showing y'all.
Right. And it's a number 2 selling book right now in the US. And it says stop being a sucker. So if you read it, you'll understand what that means. And I'll give you kind of like a little sneak peek about the sucker is when you go to a bank, what do they have at the counter?
Yeah,
the lollipops.
I was gonna say the deposit slips.
No, they have suckers, and they're called. And do you know what they're called?
Dum-dums. So that's
so think about it. Think about it. How money works, but when you go to a bank, they're like, here, take this sucker, and it's called a dum-dum. Why? And it talks about couple things. Compound interest. So compound interest just simply is interest on top of interest. So you have $1, you get interest on that, and compound interest is extra interest on the interest of that money that you just made, right? Rule of 72. Rule of 72 is how long it takes your money to double. So it's an equation, 72 divided by your interest rate. So say, going back to the bank, a bank gives, you go to a bank, you want to deposit $100, right? But their interest rate is 1%. So if you take 72 divided by 1, it's 72, right? So that means it would take 72 years for that $100 to become $200.
Really?
Yes. Yes. But people don't know that because people are suckers, right? Because they don't understand money.
Yeah.
But when you go to a car, when you get a loan, how much is that loan? 19, 20, 22%. And that means that car company is making a huge profit off of you in a shorter amount of money, a shorter amount of time than you are making on putting your money into a savings account at a bank.
Really?
Right.
Oh yeah, girl. Yeah, so make sure I need to get this book too. A lot that I don't know, to be honest, with money. If you guys don't know, money is my number 1 stressor. Yes, it is.
Yes.
I hate
And
money.
what we try to do, there's 2 stressors in the world, is financial and health, right? So what we try to do is help solve both of those problems in one go around. Retirement and stuff like that. This is the last thing with that is people that are like our age, we're not going to get pensions, right? We do 401ks. But the older generations that are retiring now, they're not worried about getting older or anything like that, worrying about grandkids, what I'm going to get my grandson for his birthday. It's, am I going to run out of money during retirement?
Yeah.
People are living 20, 30 years past retirement. So people retire at 67. People are living to 90. With a 401k, you could run out of money. So we have different vehicles and different policies that you can put your money into to consistently accumulate money and have consistent income after retirement, or even starting now with a family. People with kids that need college funds, start now. Do not wait. The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be. But my job is to help educate you and work with you to get your finances so that you can live the lifestyle that you want. So you can leave a legacy. When it comes to the Black and brown community, we're spenders. We spend money. We will go to a Nike and Jordan store all day long, but we won't sit down with a financial advisor and say, how can I save money?
That's important. That's really good. Yeah.
Building that generational wealth. And that's my activist work, is doing this, helping families be able to secure themselves financially and for health, in their health. So I love
That's
what
really
I do.
good.
So
So like, I'm gonna put a link for this book in below description. Definitely take a look at this book. Oh my
and it's
gosh,
in
yes.
comics, so
Yes. Oh my gosh.
it's in
yeah.
comics, so it's easy to read.
Run
It's
on
easy
me.
to understand.
Let's take some pages because I can't even. Like, oh
So
my
there's-
gosh, it's so cool. Like it's in comics and like they're talking and stuff.
Yeah, so the different people are
It'd be kind of fun to read too.
It
You know,
is.
it's not like boring.
Yeah, and the graphics are great. It's on Amazon, but Kia, if you want to put a link to my Instagram and
Yes.
people that want to give me a call to talk and see if it might be beneficial for you as an individual or for your family, most definitely I'm here to help work with
Yes,
everyone.
I'll put a link to her Instagram below in the description box, and I'll put a link to this amazing book right here. I need to get a copy of this book too. But, do that too. Also, definitely would do that. So, what do you want people to take from this video?
When it comes to the society that we live in, love yourself. Love, I feel like before you can love somebody else, you gotta love yourself. So taking the time to, like I said, step back and really evaluate yourself. You gotta check yourself before, because you can
Check yourself.
you can talk about somebody all day long. Oh, I don't know why she got 5 kids with that bum, but it's like, but what are you doing? Are you helping yourself get in a better situation to where you can help others? But when it comes to other people taking advice or just suggestions, I could be doing really well, and I'm like, Kia, I think you should, not think, but I work for this finance company. I know, money is a stressor, I can help you. Don't be like, oh, you think you're better than me.
No. That's just negative, you guys. That's so negative.
Yeah, don't. I want to see people succeed. I want to see my people succeed, but don't take it as me just trying to see you as a charity case. Because unity is what we need. They love for us to be divided. But when we come together as a unit, that is where we grow. That's where we progress. But it starts with the man and the woman in the mirror.
Yes,
honestly.
Yes,
So,
it does.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you for being my love on this channel.
Thank you for
Love
having
you.
me.
Thank you for what you do for this world, honestly.
Thank you.
Need more Kias and you in the world. But
Thank you
I'm
for doing
loving
what you're
that
doing.
you're still every day working on yourself and
Every
working
day.
to help others, to have them grow and realize financially or in their life, if they haven't realized something, you would lead them to the right direction. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for being on this channel. You guys, thank you for watching. Like Ayarri says, love yourself first. It takes you to love yourself first. How do you expect other people to love you if you don't even love yourself first? So, hope you guys took a lot from this video. It was a really amazing video. Thank you so much.
Thank
10
you.
times. And I just hope you guys have a wonderful day. And honestly, if you, within yourself, you feel like you've been internalized racism within yourself, your own race, please self-reflect. step back and like, what do you need to do to change it to be positive and more better, and remember, what did you say? The beautiful quote, say it again. We're gonna end the video saying that.
If you can't find a beautiful person, be that beautiful person.
Yes, love you guys. Have a good day.
We dancing.